What's up, everyone? Welcome back to our 100 viewers that tune in to watch this debauchery of Between the Buns. We are here to discuss. I'm joined by Darren Eats, former number 3 MLE eater in the world. I'm Heavy D, professional competitive eater myself with Major League Eating, currently ranked number 8. But I would say I'm going down to 9 since Pat was number 9 and beat me. So we're here to talk about all things Wonderful Pistachios. A week, Monday, what is it? Monday, February 26th. Everyone's squaring off in Santa Monica, California. The venue looks pretty cool. It looks like an amusement park, but it's the Wonderful Pistachios. Get cracking. It's the only way I knew it was cracking and not shelling, by the way, is because that's their tagline, get cracking or something like that. When you were saying, is it shelling, is it crack? It's the only way I knew it was cracking.
Even worse, I thought it was peeling. Peeling.
Well, that's right, peeling.
I knew that was wrong, though, because it's not like you peel a pistachio.
The sad part is the only pistachio ad I've ever seen, I think, is fake. And it's the Grinch, and he goes, I have some salty green nuts for you. And that's the only ad. I'll put it on the screen and whatnot, but that's the only ad. How about these nuts? But it's an 8-minute contest. The nuts are in the shell, and it's as many as you can eat. Now, last year, the numbers changed after the contest. There was initial numbers, and then they were elevated. Again, just like bagels, this is a stacked field, including a professional athlete. So we'll see how that goes. And then, we got, again, I think it was last time it was at bagels, 8 of the top 12. We have Joey Chestnut. Gotta get the list here. Joey Chestnut, Nick. So Jeff is not going to this. Interesting. Gideon, Bartley, Steve Hammond, Webby, and then Joey Bosa from the Los Angeles Chargers, NFL athlete. So Joey Bosa is real high risk, real high reward, because some of these NFL dudes can eat. They eat 10,000 calories a day. He's a lineman. He's a defensive end. He's pretty jacked. So he probably eats pistachios. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty jacked. Could he win? Could he place? I mean, this is a challenge or a contest, very skilled based. So they come in the shell. You got to break them apart and then eat the nut. So it's not a capacity contest at all. What do you think? Could we see a major league eater lose to Joey Bosa? Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever seen someone lose to just a random professional athlete?
Well, I didn't just see it. I experienced it myself. And it wasn't even a professional athlete. This was a backyard athlete for sure. Because I remember back in 2018, something like that, they had a crawdad eating contest down in the Florida-Bama area, I believe in Alabama. And I did not practice for the event at all. I remember I showed up, and then I remember they just pulled a random guy out of the audience to compete. And, it was this big dude, I don't even remember the dude's name. We'll just call him Bayou Billy, Cajun Chris, whatever you want to call him. But there's this big dude, about, your height, 6'4", something like that, He had his, what was that one brand that was popular in the 90s? It was like Bahama, something like those Hawaiian shirts. He had one of those on.
Bahamas, dude. Oh, my God. What a legend. What a legend.
And he came up and I kid you not, the guy was using beer as his chaser, and he beat me. He came in 3rd place. He actually placed pretty high for this contest. So that's why for a technique food like this, I don't rule anyone out, because Bayou Billy, he probably has way more experience than me, because being from the Florida-Bama area, he probably, this was nothing for him. This is second nature. It's like breathing for him, because he eats crawdads all the time, probably every summer. 100%. So I don't know. If this guy, Joey Bosa, did you say he was a defensive lineman?
Yeah, big dude.
So maybe when the offense is playing or special teams is out there, maybe he's cracking pistachios right there on the bench. Who knows?
I mean, they are a great source of energy. We know that. I'm getting his height and weight for you. He is 6'5", 276 pounds.
Yeah, big dude. So
he's a big.
But then again, I wonder if the hand speed will be. The technique would be difficult for him, because I'm sure he's a massive dude, so he probably has humongous, Julius Erving
hands. He's got massive fucking crab claws. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And Joey Chestnut came in
the crab people from South Park.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if Joey Chestnut comes in 7th, it shows you that this contest, like you said, wide open. That's why I wonder, what do we see from Joey Bosa?
That's true. Because once again, events like this, I remember Adrian Morgan. He competed last year, but he didn't compete this year. Anyways, I remember one thing that he always told me was that technique contests like wings, pistachios, crawdad were the great equalizer or the great neutralizer because the capacity didn't matter at that point. It was all technique. So whoever practiced the most or was naturally good at the given food. So well, Joey Bosa, I guess if he ate pistachios on the regular, once again, maybe he's sitting on the bench eating pistachios while the offense was playing. I don't know. Then he could kill it. Who knows? But or he could be practicing for this event. I don't know. I think it really boils down to who wants this bad enough and who practiced enough.
I mean, the crazy thing is he is a competitor, right? Like a lot of people we've seen. Like I did Gioesa with you, I think in 2019, and we had like an former NHL player. The guy was just up there as like the celebrity. He was just like he did not eat. I think he ate 10 Gioesa.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just thought that was like some random guy. I thought that was like the sponsors, like Sun or something. I don't know.
No, he was like an NHL guy. They kept saying, and he was down there by me where you were up on stage. I was slumming it down on the street with that guy.
That was an interesting setup at that contest, but anyways.
It was. The funny part was I could hear Beard behind me, and I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible. And I turned around, and I'm like, holy fuck. Like, it was just in his beard, on his face. Like, that was pretty cool.
It's like ZZ Top went down on someone, huh?
100%. Just like walk up to someone with like a fucking silly putty shotgun point blank, just But that was crazy because he did get the maximum deduction for that contest. And I was like, man, I wish they would have just DQ'd him like WWE style. Like, DQ, hit the bell, ding, ding, ding. No, he's done.
The LA screw job. The little Tokyo screw job. There you go.
I didn't cough on nobody, Vin Diesel. I didn't fucking debris on nobody. Nah. So, Joey Bosa, what was the total last year? I think it was Nick Wehry.
I want to say 100. I think he's the only guy that got over 100, right?
No, they adjusted it, and I think it went up because Darian Thomas told me that he's planning for 170 plus. So Nick Wehry won last year with 109, but I do feel like it was the numbers got changed. I don't know if this is the after numbers or whatnot. Adrian Morgan, Mickey Sudo are second and third. But both are not competing this year because the event is on a Monday, which is very tough, I feel like. Then we have Steve the Rabbit, who came in fourth, and he is there again. So he's coming back with Bartley Weaver coming all the way from Florida out to Santa Monica. And he also he did like he might eat in a Macho Man costume because he was posting that he was partnered with them, and if he got enough likes, he was going to dress up with them. So I'd love to see someone eat, although I think like the hair might get in the way, right? Thank God I'm balding. Like I don't have to worry. But you get it in the face, you got like, all over the place. And then Gideon, will he make his appearance? We expected to see him at Bagels. Unfortunately, couldn't make it. You never know what the Spirit Flights and Frontier schedule is looking like that day. We might have a late scratch, but he's always a guy to bet on, though. I mean, if he's there in a niche boutique food like this, he could win it.
Especially because of his tenacity and just based off his YouTube videos, he might end up just seeing the whole thing, like shelling everything.
I mean, he could do it. I wonder if they judge that. Because when I talked with Darian, he was saying that they go on weight on this, but they also they're counting the nuts. Like they go and count the shells.
There's no way to count the shells. There's no way they do
I'm just saying.
I'm thinking weight, and they loosely count the shells just to verify it. I don't know.
And that could be where we also saw the difference in numbers that I'm referencing is that they had a weight and they had 100%. I mean, and then we had
a whole Florida ballot situation. Hold up, let's count these.
One, two, when I used to enjoy the devil's lettuce, I would get a little too high in the sky with diamonds. And was known to eat bags of pistachios and then count the shells and start and being like, oh, I was screwed that I didn't. It's an odd number. They gave me a shell instead of a nut, and they'd be like, "No, you just broke it or you ate it." But that would be a pastime of me. But that's honestly why I'm not competing in this contest. Is I don't feel like I have a good skill set. Like it's one of the only West Coast contests that I will not go to. If they did like tacos in whatever, I'd go, right? Like I try to go on the Western contest, but like I'm terrible at that. I'd be like Joey, right? Like we struggle with those real dexterous. I don't have good finger dexterity. To round out the field, Joey came in last year. And then we're also going to have Darian Thomas this year competing. Jay Wehry is flying over from Australia. And then we have Joey Bosa. So that would be your field. Now, we talked about Joey Bosa. For $5, over under 100.5. So 100.5 pistachios. Will he eat over that or under 100.5?
Well, my take, I'll be honest. I'm just being a realist. Under. There's no way he's getting a championship number.
So with that, we have Darian who's practicing hard, Nick who's coming to defend the title because if you look at it,
he's practicing hard.
What? I'm sure he's practicing hard. The guy he practices more than anyone I know, right? When it comes to hot dogs, it comes to anything. He's the most unsanctioned practice eater of the generation, right? He's also defending the title because they had the cool graphic of Joey Bosa with Joey Chestnut, but nothing about Nick. So that's just another chip on his shoulder to come out, sure. Right?
Yeah, ought to, yeah.
Do we see a new world record?
I think we definitely see a new world record, 100%. I mean, because I think everyone definitely wants to do better than they did last year. That's always the intention coming back for the repeat folks. And then for folks like Darian or Jay Wehry that are new to the contest, I feel like they want to come and make a statement, especially since it's an early contest, before Nathan's. They definitely want to come in and make a statement, and they've probably been practicing. So I think the record will be broken for sure.
I agree with that.
In fact, I think there'll be probably more than one person breaking the record.
Breaking the world record. I can see that too, because like the first year, no one really knows what to expect, right? Like we have a couple new contests coming up: Uranus Fudge Factory, Bologna Eating Championships. You don't know what to expect, right? It was like I did that egg roll eating contest last year. I expected it to be like Jack in the Box Chinese buffet all day delicious egg rolls, not super rich, delicious, higher end macaroni and cheese ground beef egg rolls where you're like, holy shit,
that would be tough.
Much different to eat than thinking you're getting a veggie spring roll, right? So I think going into a contest a second year, especially when you've done it, you definitely have a leg up. But with new eaters coming, I mean, Jay Wehry's competed very well, right? We know he's no slouch, but does this fit his wheelhouse? Because this is a very, very technique food. This is not just grabbing it by the handful.
I think if he goes in there and attacks it head on and isn't too afraid of debris, he could do well. Because I've noticed the only technique contest he did that I've seen is corn, and he didn't do as well. I think it's probably because he ate too neat and didn't really just go for it, So I think he ate a little too conservatively. So I think at this pistachio event, if he ate aggressively and didn't really worry much about debris and just worried about, just put it in the hands of the judges as opposed to, being afraid of getting an introduction, I think he could do really well.
I asked him about corn that one time, right? Because like his first corn fiesta, I think he might go back this year again.
But he would do a lot better, 100%.
He had no clue about this. Like he actually thought you had to eat it and turn it and clean them versus just the. Can you do the demo of what corn is for people at home?
You want to go that way, just like that?
Oh, you want to go up, not down. Interesting.
No, because the reason is it'll fatigue your jaw. Because when you hook it like that, then it brings your jaw down. If that makes sense. So this way, it's more fixed.
There's the best strategy you have. This is why I'm not a strategy eater. I'm a blue collar eater. Bring your lunch pail. We're going to work. We're gonna earn these jaws right here, right?
Maybe I'll have to do corn again this year because that one you don't need a high capacity, and I have the technique ingrained in me at this point. So
I mean, Darian, I think is going to do that one as well. I think Darian's doing corn because he could. I mean, I'll start. realistically, I think Darian could win this contest.
1,000%. Yeah,
It's anyone's game. And based off his unsanctioned practice runs, he's already got the world record dead to rights. Now, I do think the numbers were adjusted. So I do think that, like, I don't know why. I think it's like 160, 170 was the final rating of what they gave Nick. So I'll check that and verify. But with that being said, Darian's on pace to hit over 160. Like you said, I think we're going to see multiple. But I also think Darian could come out and win corn because he's also competing.
I would love to see him do it. Darian, please win this. Please win this. I would love to see him win this. I think that would be so awesome.
5K.
That's a great way to start the season. First contest, boom. Just like going there. Well, yeah, I know it's not his first contest, but still.
I mean, him and I were battling like wizards in bagels. We were next to each other.
You guys were like a half day go off.
Yeah. So, no, I mean, if I had to give, the winner gets $5,000. You retired at the wrong time. Like, you would fucking be, I mean, you got a bunch of seconds, thirds, some firsts at like Pueblo for sloppers and all those contests. Bro, you probably would have like upped your earnings in your purses to like probably making 35 grand on the side, 25 grand.
Maybe. I don't know though. But then the competition's gotten a lot stiffer too. I'll admit that. The bar's been set way higher than when I used to compete too.
Oh, I thought you were talking about when I take Viagra pre-contest when you meant stiffer competition. I compete the hardest I can, right? That's what the phrase meant, right? Like, no, if I had to give my top three, I think I'm going to go Darian number 1, followed closely by Webby. And then I think I'm going to go with number 3. Joey, Webby, Nick. I'd probably say because Nick won it last year, he's got that technique down. So I'm going to go with Darian, Webby, and Nick. But in terms of numbers, I'm going to say, I mean, I guess we could go to the next level on predictions. I got Darian about 168. Webby 165 and Nick like 160ish. Like, and that's
super close race.
That's based on that 170 number. Now I know I'm saying over that and whatnot, but I'm just like throwing out random numbers. I think we got to get into that, right? We get into qualifier season here. I think we got to start taking shots of where are we expecting people. And if you're watching this at home, let us know your results, who you got, and what numbers. And if you hit the closest prize, I'll mail you a signed card. So that'll be your prize. So maybe you don't want to leave a comment section because that's probably like going to cost more money. But what do you got?
I'd say pretty close to what you have, except I switched up some of the placings.
Yeah,
I'll say Darian wins. We're the same there. But I think Nick still gets second and edges out Webby. Because I think Webby, he'll get a little more aggressively, but not aggressive enough. Because I don't know what it is. I could be totally wrong, and I hope he proves me wrong, Yeah. But I think to him, sometimes he just seems a little too nice and doesn't have that aggressive edge that you need for competition, if that makes any sense.
No, I get it. What would you say your numbers are?
I would say Darian will win new world record, 175.
Okay.
Then Nick will do... Because he said he did 170 last year, right?
It's something like that. I'm trying to find it, but it's like, I just don't. I know the numbers were adjusted. That's my thing.
Then Nick will probably do a little better, like literally, with 172. And Webby will probably do high 160s, maybe like 168, something like that. But I hope Webby proves me wrong. And that, he's not the nice guy that I think he is.
I'm trying to see if I can find it. He did the hot dog buns. He did all that. Where does he post his number? He doesn't even have it. Hey, he doesn't have it. I was trying to look at Nick's post from last year. He doesn't have his world record on there. But so you had 175 for Darian. What was Nick's number? You had 160.
173. And then 168 for Webby.
So it's another tight contest. You're calling that too. I mean, Don't count out Bartley or Hammond because they both did well last year. Hammond did 88 and Bartley did 85. So they're only like 10, 15 off from like where those if we go off those numbers that we're going off, they were fairly close.
Yeah, Hammond, he'll probably do well because he's one of those like skinny, lean, athletic dudes, and they always do really well at those techniques. He's case in point, like Brett, he has really good technique, and he's one of those, fit, like lean guys.
Yeah, running 21 miles. Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. Much respect. And there's no way I could do that.
So
might be able to run 21 meters. That's about it.
Do we think Joey comes in last again?
I think this year.
Let's take away Joey Bosa. Okay, just out of the MLE roster. Okay, does Joey come in last again?
No, I don't think he'll come in last this year. I think he'll pick it up a little bit because usually he'll come a little fired up. But then again, I don't know because I know usually when he takes a really bad loss, he'll take that to heart and start practicing like crazy. So he might end up winning the whole thing. I don't know that. I feel so torn. I don't know.
It's a tough. I mean, that's why I love this one, right? Because hot dogs.
Neither one of us have the experience in the food, so we have no clue. And then second off, like once again, it's a great neutralizer food that anyone can really win.
I mean, I know I can't win. I did a couple of runs. So when it got posted last year, I told Brandy, I think I might do it. And she goes, before you enter, go buy a bag of pistachios and like do a mock run. Because you're not going to be full off of 80 pistachios, right? Like no one's getting full at this contest. And I don't know if you'd want to swallow the shells, like you were saying with Gideon, right? Like if you swallow the shells, they might affect your number, right? Because I don't know. We don't know well enough where it's like buffalo wings. Like you pull the sauce, exactly. So I ate them, and I was averaging like 11 to 12 a minute, and I'm like, I just don't like that, right? And that would have put me right in that range with Hammond at 88, 85, but like one hiccup, you go from 4th to 7th, right? Like it's tight, like and it gets tedious because you were talking about corn and the jaw fatigue. Like some of these pistachios are tougher to get open than other ones. So do you So do you just leave that one? Like you hit a hard one, throw it down, or do you crack your tooth and, shove it in there and open it up, right? Like what is that strategy?
That is true because it seems like with pistachios, I know with wing eating contests sometimes, if the wing was, the meat wasn't coming off, I would just, abandon ship and go to the next one. But pistachios, it seems like there would be more harder to open pistachios than, harder to eat wings. So I wonder if you just kept doing that. Eventually, it was just like, crap, none of these pistachios are, easy to open. So what do I do?
Well, see, they don't eat, like, it's such an interesting contest to me because, we go to hot dogs and it's five dogs, right? We do donuts. It's like 4 donuts a plate. We do other, like, what is corn? Corn's how many on a plate?
Honestly, you just have a big pile and they just keep throwing out and then you throw it into a crate in front of you.
Dude, that's badass.
It is pretty cool. I do like the setup of it because they just give you a big pile of corn and then you just have a huge crate that you dump it in.
That's awesome. Because like when I had that egg roll contest, it's like 5. And where I'm going with this one is that this is going to be closer to corn, where you're going to get like a big bowl of pistachios to work from. So it's like you just keep digging in. So it's not like, and I know wings, it's like big too, right? Like you get a big tray.
Yeah, you got a huge like 20-pound tray of it.
Yeah.
It's like one of those big catering trays.
So that makes it tougher too, because like you said, you can't just keep digging around. You know what I mean? Like you're wasting time and you're not getting full. So it's not like hot dogs where you have a little bit of time because you could always catch up or whatever. Like everyone's going because no one's getting full. Like I'm interested to see, and I wish they'd live stream it. I don't know if they are. I'll have to check that. Well,
I wonder about the total weight, just out of curiosity. Like, I wonder how much 109, whatever the record is again, because we're not sure if it's 171 or 109, but I wonder how much that actually comes out to weigh. Like, is it even a pound?
Average weight of a pistachio nut, shell and all, weighs about 0.02 ounces.
Might not even be a pound, like maybe just a couple ounces, who knows?
A 1 ounce serving of pistachios is 49 kernels.
Oh,
on
so yeah.
average. On average.
So yeah, it's only a couple ounces. Wow.
500 pieces per pound, approximately.
And no one's coming even close to that. So yeah, anyone could really do it. Shoot. Maybe I should put my money on
Stop the
Joey
cobwebs.
Bosa. There was one interesting point I wanted to make.
All right.
I don't know if the timing of it would be appropriate there towards the ending, because I just find it interesting that they made that an 8-minute contest when technique foods are usually 12 minutes. I wonder what the rationale is for making it a 8-minute contest as opposed to 12. But then again, I wonder if it's even worth discussing. So.
No, it is. It is. I think it is. And I'm going to keep this part in here because I do think it is worth discussing. And if I had to place a bet, from what I saw, this sponsor is very much involved compared to other ones that I've been to where they didn't care who signed up. From what Darian told me and what I saw was if you signed up, they would have to approve you. They want to take a look and make sure they got good people competing and all that kind of stuff. So I would guess it's just, a 12-minute contest of pistachios might start to drag, right? Hot dog. My favorite contests are 6 to 8 minutes. I'll be honest with you, right? Because it's a good pace for me. You start getting into 10, and that's where my conditioning in that 8 to 10 window starts to die, right? So maybe that's why. Maybe the sponsor just felt that was better, and maybe there's no reason, right? Sometimes it's I'm interested to see what fudge is. I think it's probably 10 minutes, I'd guess.
Probably. I don't know what that would be considered. Because fudge, there's so much variance. Because fudge that have been sitting out in the room for a while could melt a little, and that would be super easy to eat, and then that would become a capacity. It would almost be dangerous because it would be a capacity food with sugar. So but then if it's rock hard fudge, then it's gonna. I don't think the numbers are gonna be there.
Ugh.
Break your teeth.
100%, right? We don't have the best teeth. We're not the sport for teeth.
That's true.
No, I wonder that too. But that's also probably what's limiting numbers too, is that it's just you picture, let's say Nick's 109 is the thing. That's only 10.9 a minute pistachios. Would you think about it? Maybe it is realistic because him to get to 170, that's 17 pistachios a minute.
I kind of wish I would have bought some pistachios for this episode so I could try cracking one open.
Well, I got good news for you. You can buy those pistachios because after this contest, Darian Thomas is going to come on here and give us the full Canadian version because he's honest and he's kind, just like all Canadians are, to tell us the inside haps about his experience at the table so you could get some. I honestly think while we were interviewing Darian, we set the timer for you and just see how many you can do in a minute. That
would be great.
We'll ask Darian how many he thinks you can get.
I wonder what he would say. He'll probably be nice and say 20 or something ridiculous. But my personal bet for myself, I rarely eat nuts. I know I'm setting myself up, but maybe 5. I don't know. I have no clue.
No, you'd be much higher than 5. I was gonna peg you about 8. Now, if you were going balls to the wall, I think 10 to 12. But you're not. On this, you're probably gonna be casually trying to eat them. I would say 8. And it really depends. You're gonna use one hand. I'd be using 2.
Oh, is it easier cracking it like that as opposed to just going like that?
It's all the personal preference, right? I don't have the hand strength to just pop one of those things. I'll be honest with you.
I'd have to try. Maybe I am underestimating how hard it is. Maybe I can't go like that.
Maybe
usually peanuts, I just go like that, but
peanuts are much looser shells, and that'll set me up because I feel like a peanut you can crush. I can rarely crush a pistachio. I wonder if Darian, and this is why he's doing so well, is just toothing it, right?
He's been working on his grip strength.
No, I wonder if he's taking that little opening and just going boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He'll have no teeth, but he'll win a contest. It'd be his first win ever.
$5,000 towards the expenses. Oh no, he's in Canada, so it works in his favor. Free healthcare, so the boom.
100%.
I have to ask him next episode.
Well, when we go up there this summer, we'll have to ask him or find out. We'll just start interviewing Canadians. If there is a Smokes Poutineery in Toronto, I would like to go with you just to relive.
Oh yeah, definitely have to go. Smokes is awesome. They're fantastic. I love them.
That's one I wish they bring back. But so we have here for you, everyone. We have Joey Bosa eating under 100 pistachios. There will be a new world record. We do both believe that. I have Darian, Webby, and Nick in that order for top 3. And then Darren has Darian, Nick, and Webby. I am going to spotlight. I do think, like you said, Hammond and Gideon are people to watch out for. They are very crafty in those types of foods, so we'll see. 8-minute contest. Pistachios coming your way, 226. Hope you enjoy the contest. Tune in. Let us know your results down below. And we'll see Darren, and I discussing all things pistachios here in another week or so once we get back and do all that. Darian, the only thing I think is working against him is he's taking red-eye flights in. So he's going from Toronto to Vegas or wherever his local airport is to Vegas. He's here at like midnight on Sunday until like 3 or 4 a.m. and then flying into Santa Monica, which I personally do not do well when I'm tired because I'm just like angry and I'm just like out of it. Like I'm not in my right head. You know what I mean? So hopefully it works for him and not against him, but we'll find out.